The president finishing up the last weekend of his summer vacation in New Jersey. Much of the past week he spent on the offensive, getting ready for the midterms. His tweet, here we go, from last night. Democrats, please do not distance yourselves from Nancy Pelosi. She is a wonderful person whose ideas and policies may be bad, but who should definitely be given a fourth chance. She is trying very hard and has every right to take down the Democratic Party if she has veered too far left. And with that, we bring in Donald Trump for President Advisory Board member Gina Loudon. Gina, nice to see you as always.
Great to be with you.
You don't really need to dissect that tweet to notice the sarcasm.
Yeah, well, you know, the president has done a masterful job at communicating with his base and really creating the narrative over and over with his Twitter account. And so you have to give him all credit. He sees things, Leland, like the middle of America sees things, not the crazies on the coast. I don't mean that all people there are crazy.
Fair point that Nancy Pelosi has been the ultimate foil, both for President Trump and in a larger sense for Republicans. Is there a danger if he keeps hammering away at her in this way? If Democrats abandon Nancy Pelosi before the midterms, what do Republicans have left?
Well, look, the Democrat Party is completely fractured and shattered and, frankly, on the verge of implosion. If you look at the socialist leanings of that party now, they've abandoned their base, and Democrats are jumping ship in the walk-away movement. We've seen it over and over again, and that's as our president continues to reach right into their base just by good policy. Things like unemployment being at record lows, that calls people over. If you looked at the new job numbers from last week, I noticed that people who never graduated from high school dropouts are at the lowest unemployment ever.
You said the Democratic Party is fractured. Ones can go back and forth on that. Democrats I talked to certainly say divided and directionless at times, maybe different adjectives. Interesting to note, though, in terms of where the Democrats are splitting left and center as it relates to Nancy Pelosi. Here's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the woman who is called the future of the Democratic Party, about the person who is the leader, or who she thought could be something else, of the Democratic Party. Take a listen.
Do you recognize her as the leader?
I think absolutely right now, you know,
Go ahead, please.
She is the leader of Speaker, or rather Leader Pelosi. Hopefully, we'll see. She's the current leader of the party, and I think that the party absolutely does have its leadership in the House. We have our leadership in the Senate as well.
You guys got to love that.
Yeah, I've got to say, I hope she stays front and center for the Democrats, because if she's the future of the Democrats, the future belongs to the Republicans and to Donald Trump for sure.
This is something that is coming in the future. This week, Omarosas' book, who was at one point pretty close to the president, certainly worked in the White House. This is one of the excerpts obtained by the Washington Post from her book called Unhinged. I saw him, meaning the president, put a note in his mouth. Since Trump was ever the germaphobe, I was shocked. He appeared to be chewing and swallowing the paper. It must have been something very, very sensitive. There is the substance there, which is interesting. We have no idea whether to believe the veracity or not. The White House has said this book is riddled with lies. But coming through the summer, you've got somebody who is very close to the president now spilling some of the beans. What is the White House's strategy if they have one?
She's spilling the beans on herself. And if you look at the title of the book, I think that says about all you need to know about where Omarosa is. This is what I know about our president, that he loves to look at people and give them an opportunity. And the very fact that he gave this woman such an opportunity that she never would have had, he created her.
So now the logic is that he gave her this opportunity. He knew what she was like on The Apprentice, knew what she was like during the campaign, still brought her into the White House, and now we're not supposed to believe her and think that she's a lunatic? I'm unclear how the logic works.
Well, I'm unclear how her logic works, because here's a man who created her brand.
Gina, I think a lot of people are unclear how her logic works, but then there's the question of how did and why did somebody who's supposedly such a great and powerful leader like President Trump says he is, and is good of a character judge as he says he is, why would he let somebody who, by your own admissions, got some serious issues into the White House and be such an integral part of his administration for so long?
Look, Omarosa made her own bed, and she's going to have to lie in it. I think that this is clearly her telling the whole world that she is not what she portrayed herself to be to the president or anyone else. Her being deceptive is not any basis of judgment for this president. This president gave her a chance, and the very fact that he gave this black woman a chance, it tells you that any accusations that she would make about any sort of race issues are absolutely debased and fictional. And if she were to do the right thing, who in the world is ever going to believe her again? She should apologize.
Gina, do you worry about the idea that there's tapes? Come on.
No. I don't worry about it. I know this president. I know his heart. I know his character. And I will never fault him for believing in people and giving people a chance that, by the way, no one else ever gave that kind of a chance to. I mean, you look, Leland, at what he's done on black unemployment, on prison reform. I'm sitting here with a list in front of me of 20 things
I'm not sure where you get the link between those two things, but we'll certainly see the continuing defense. I guess this is, at least part of it, is that he did give her a chance, and we'll see where it goes from there. Gina, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All the best. Liz?